of Stevens Point Public Works Committee meeting, recorded December 11, 2023.
Calling the Board of Public Works meeting to order. I have 6:20, and could we get a roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Wiesa.
Here.
Fischler.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Fischler's here.
Chris Tiffany. I guess we can...
Chris Tiffany is not here. Did anybody hear from him? I did not hear anything. Please mark that absent.
Okay. Niebom.
Here.
Morrow.
Here.
Keemer.
Here.
And Shuda.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. We'll continue. Item number 1 is the director's report. We got a couple of things that we provided updates on: Division and Church Street reconstruction projects, fall paving, and then some street improvement projects. Director, you want to talk about those and reiterate the public information meetings, time and location, please?
Absolutely. So yes, just it's been a couple months since we talked about Division and Church Street. I've been working with AECom, just trying to see that kind of what the status is of 30% design. They're actively working on that. Previously, I had reported that we're trying to get some of the office meetings done this fall. However, trying to keep to the schedule. We made a last-minute change there to do that, so those will occur next month. The reason for that is AECom needed to try to work on the service elements of the 30% design to give that to Grimmer, who's the sub to them, to work on some of the utility things in order to try to meet the ultimate design. So felt it better that they just continue to move through with that, get that to a point where they can hand that off. So we'll be sending out here before the end of the year some invites to the residents and businesses along the central and north segments for next month. Probably be near the middle, the end of January, probably a Wednesday, Thursday within that, to have those individual one-on-one meetings. Also, I know we had the council had requested that AECom evaluate the roundabout at 4th Avenue a little bit more. I'm told, unfortunately, they just couldn't get it wrapped up in time for this meeting. We should have a memo from AECom by the end of the year, so I'll be presenting that next month here to see what the results of that is. They're doing the micro simulations, as well as they were going to make contact with some other communities and institutions that have, as close as we can find as to similar roundabouts, to see how they're actually operating to what we anticipate. So that should be coming up next month, and then like I said, we'll have in those office meetings. The intent is to try to wrap everything up in this 30% design in March, and then hopefully then we can move forward. We do have some tight timelines to meet the next anticipated deadlines as far as the north segment under the TID and the far south segment under the SDP Urban. I think we've got enough time to do it as long as we continue to move forward. So the intent would be to wrap the 30% design in and then move directly into the final design. So they're also working on some of the agreements related to that, which will be coming forward here at the beginning of the year. Any questions on that before I move on to fall paving?
I would say we've got a couple of newer alderpersons, and we'll have a couple new ones for sure in April. I would encourage them all to do a virtual review of all of the Business Street proposal or Business 51 proposals, and look at it from all perspectives.
Thank you. So moving on to fall paving, we found some additional money with some of the savings we had through the year, as well as hopefully everyone kind of recalls that we did not do any chip sealing in the last year due to some stripping issues that we're otherwise having to do that. So it left us a little bit of funding as well as some LRIP reimbursement that we received. So we tried to get a fair amount of fall paving done after as dry a summer and as perfect a summer as you could for construction to have. We got into the late part of the season and all of a sudden the rains hit. And so we didn't finish up everything we had planned to do. Everything that was generally prepped, we completed in fall paving. There were 3 streets that we were anticipating to do pulverize and repave, as well as although the pulverizer that American Have was ready to go at any time, they just couldn't convince us enough that they could guarantee that they could get them repaved before the plants closed in the winter. So we told them to hold off. And we'll plan on just doing that first thing in the spring. So they told us they'd hold their prices, over the winter time, so it shouldn't cost us any more. We'll get them done. I think it actually should work out, potentially even well. Those roads will last through one more winter, getting beat up, and then we can drive on them nice over the summer before they get scratched and dinged up. So I just wanted to let everyone know where that was, but I think we got a lot of work done in the fall, which is very nice. The two Improvement projects, really all I wanted to just touch on is that there's 2 PMs, they're happening this week.
PIM is Public Informational Meeting.
So we're encouraging everyone that may have an interest in these to show up. Letters are sent out to residents. I did otherwise, just, the mayor pointed out today, we did not get it up on our website. We'll try to do it better in the future as we get there to make sure every time those letters get out that the website is also, we're sent that, so it's on a notified as well as the media to get there. The first one is the South Side Improvement Project, which is Bliss, Mason, Prairie, Cook, that area there near the wastewater utility and water utility. And that PIM will be tomorrow, 6 o'clock at the utility office, which is 300 Bliss Avenue. And we'll be going through what's presented as far as design there. We'll have staff there as well as the engineering. So the intent is we'll go through an overview, and then we'll stay and answer people's questions. So if you have individual questions or just general comments about what we're otherwise looking to do there, we definitely encourage you to stop by there and tell us what you're thinking, as well as get your questions answered. The second one is the North Side Project, which is Maria Drive from Division to 2nd, Walker from 2nd to the far west end, and then Vincent from Maria to 6th. And that one will be Wednesday, starting at 6:30 at Pacelli High School. One of the big things with that one is that we are always proposing now, as a recommendation of our consultant. We also presented several alternatives for improvements at Maria and 2nd. And that recommendation of what we always had brought forward amongst the was a mini roundabout. So that's definitely a substantial change to what exists there now. So we're definitely looking for people's feedback. We should have both designs to present on Wednesday, as far as what just some slight geometry changes to something very similar to what we have today with stop control versus a mini roundabout. So we're definitely looking for people's input while we make final decisions related to those improvements, as well as if anyone has any other interest, comments on the overall project, please stop by Pacelli 6:30 on Wednesday for that one.
Okay. Any questions on any of those topics for the director? Yes.
Just real quick, thank you. Director, or I guess your administrative staff, or Clerk Yenter, when you send out those letters to the affected neighborhoods, what is like the boundary or radius, or like how do you determine how many or how far, roughly?
Roughly, it's definitely like everybody that abuts it.
Okay.
And really it depends on, we try to give some thought to what, how it might be impacted. So more so related to when we kind of get to the ends there, we'll usually go a little bit around beyond that. So at the intersections, we might go a house or two beyond that. If it's like residential, if it's businesses, we try to go a little bit farther because they're generally more impacted and need to know about like what's going to happen during construction. One of the biggest things is, more businesses, generally speaking, the data is on larger projects, but more businesses, fail because they can't continue to do business during construction. They do as a result of the construction when it's all done and wrapped up. So we do realize that can be a hardship for any business. So we do try to get a little bit farther with those when it happens. But each one's a little different, and it kind of depends what we're doing. If there's significant changes or significant time involved, we'll maybe go a little bit farther. But it's always everything abutting that, and then usually at the intersections, we'll look a little bit further.
Okay. Thank you.
And generally speaking, we put it out on our website and send it out to the media as well.
Sure.
These are public meetings, so anybody can attend. We just don't send letters to everybody for everything we do. Any other questions? Not, I'd entertain a motion to accept the director's report and place it on file.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Seconded by Shuda. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that's approved. Item number 2 is to approve some ordinance amendments regarding Chapter 9 as they relate to traffic signs, adding some stop signs, putting in a handicap spot on Center Point. That information was in your packet. Any questions for the director? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I so move.
Moved by Shuda, seconded by Morrow. Discussion? Hearing
Thank you for the maps.
Hearing and seeing no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved, and we are adjourned at 6:30, back on schedule.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.